Hey guys, it's Jack Punkington, and I wanted to talk today, just do like a vlog about something kind of special. Recently, since I bought my old Fender back and I got my old 1x15 that I used to gig with and play shows with, I was looking at what I'm gonna get next for gear. What I'm actually doing is I'm buying my old Jet City amp back from the guy I sold it to. I wanted something that sounds good for my 112, and when I had that first opened and I put it through the 112, it sounded amazing. So that's what that's going to be. Plus, if I ever want to do like a classic rock thing and stuff, or like more of a blues-driven punk rock band, that's like the perfect amp for it for me. And in the price range that I'm getting it back for, I can't really say no. But I also started playing on this, which this is my old Ibanez that I got for Christmas like 4 years ago. And I thought it was interesting that I'm playing on my old gear, and it's brought back a lot of memories. And I remember thinking that when I become a more mature guitar player, I guess, or I've played longer, that I would be better and I would have a lot better gear. And it's funny to think that with the gear that I own, I mean, technically I do have better gear than when I first started and when I got this guitar. And I've got this, I've got two Gibsons that I love, and I've got my Randall and my 212. But I love having my old Fender back and my old Fender's cab, even though it's not an actual cab for an amp. Just the tone I get out of it with that Fender is so different and interesting that I love it. It's got like this weird bass tone, because I mean it's a bass cab, I think, but it's got this weird bass tone that just makes it cool, in my opinion, and it's got like this punky tone. And I wanted to try this through the RD, and it has a really good thrashy metal tone, so I thought that was really cool. And I think it's funny that I've gone through so many guitars and so many amps, and a good portion of what I like my tone is still my old guitar through my old amp into my old cab, which you can't see very well. It's like right there. But I just wanted to kind of like talk about that, and like how we search for tone so much, and we think we find it, and then we really find our tone that we used a lot when we're younger guitarists, and that's what we like. Like I said, I mean, this is the third time I've bought this amp, and I traded to get it, but I don't want to get rid of it again. First off, because the cabinet simulation it has that I didn't know it had sounds amazing. I do plan on trying to record something and trying to post it for you guys. I'm still trying to figure all that out. But my interface acts weird and like cuts out sometimes, so we'll figure it out. But I do like it a lot. The cabinet simulation on the RD is very good as well. But yeah. So for any guitar player who's like kind of like stuck and wants to like think of new ways, like new tone or new stuff to do, pick up your old guitar that like you have had for years that you don't play a lot, or plug into your old solid state, not beginner amp, but like your first like mature amp, I guess, or like first practical professional amp, and play. Because when I plugged that in and I was playing on my Gibson Les Paul, which I haven't played a lot at all, I instantly wrote a song. Like, I haven't been able to write any sort of decent lick or music, and I just felt it come out with my music, and that doesn't happen with certain gear. My SG I can do that, this I can do that, and my Gibson Les Paul I can do that, but a lot of the last few guitars I've had just weren't like that for me, and That's kind of like why I stopped buying gear so much. That being said, I'm buying my Jet City amp back, but that's because I didn't give it a fair chance, and I really like it. I want to use that for like a small venue gig with my 112 or this 212, and I'd like to hear that's Ibanez through it as well with my pedal board. I'm thinking about picking up a tube screamer as well, so look out for that video. But yeah, you know, the hardest thing for me to learn is to stop searching for tone and just practice. I saw a picture the other day, and it was of Jimi Hendrix's face, and it was a meme, and it said, "You need less amps and more practice." And I think that's really cool because it's like we keep trying to buy new amps and try other amps, and what's this based off? What's that based off? What's this kind of sound? But we don't practice enough, I think. You know, back in like the 60s, 70s, and the 80s, you had to, I mean, you still have to practice to get that tone and in that feel with your fingers. But back then it was, we didn't have a tone that we were looking for. I mean, I'm sure they were always searching for like a sound that they liked, but it's like back then, like in Jimmy's day, it's like, I want to sound like this person. I want to sound like this person. He just wrote music. I mean, I'm sure everyone has had people who inspire them and like all the way back, but I think that now we've kind of grown a little lazy in terms of our playing. And don't get me wrong, there are still fantastic players out there, and there are fantastic shredders and stuff and riffers being born every minute and playing and getting out there to the world, and that's awesome. But as the collective whole of the guitar world, I think we're a little more lazy, and I think maybe just take some time. Don't worry about what your tone is. Once you get a good tone, practice with that. Like my roommate, he's like the perfect example of this because he just practices. He plays on a Line 6 112 Spider and a orange 112 combo amp. I forget what one, it's like the Crush 112 or something like that. And he plays through a Davison Les Paul or a Dave Mustaine V, and he rocks out pretty hard, and he just practices. And I've talked to him like, well, why don't you want to buy like a really nice amp, like a really nice tube amp? He's like, well, I like the sound I get. I don't need to get that other sound yet, or I don't need to search for more tones. I'd rather practice so that way when I buy the better gear, I just sound better with my playing. And I talked to him about this yesterday, and that was really interesting to hear. And I think that a lot of people who are gearheads like me need to think about that a little more. So maybe practice a little more. Little tip from my roommate. Hope you guys like this video. This like little nice vlog about music I haven't done in a while. This is Jack Punkington signing out. Peace, guys.